Jesse, the new tax law went into effect on July 4th. What are the big takeaways out of the bill?
I think maybe the biggest is the permanent lower tax rate, or being made permanent, such that from our perspective, that helps a lot for planning forward.
Yep.
Right? So that's a big one. It did raise the standard deduction by $750 for single filers and $1,500 for joint filers.
So $31,500.
Those of us that aren't itemizing.
Yep.
For those that own a business, fully permanent qualified business income deduction.
Yep.
Those that know that, and that's helpful as well. I know something that you've thought about a lot is the SALT deduction cap being raised. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, state and local tax deduction. I mean, it was $10,000 and it's raised to $40,000 at least until 2029. That is, and then you get phased out if you make more than $500,000 adjusted gross income. But the really neat thing is, so what I've seen a few times is folks kind of pushing closer to that deduction now from an itemization standpoint. Keep it in mind, $31,500 hurdle, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it used to be a $10,000 state and local tax and then maybe mortgage interest. So like if you were going to get the charity, for example, your hurdle was like from $15,000 all the way up to close to $30,000.
Right.
Now, getting all of your state and local tax deductions, or at least up to $40,000.
Right.
What I'm seeing more and more is folks pushing closer to $25,000, $30,000 on itemized deductions, so they're getting closer. And the reason that's good is actually because of charity. But I know you were interested in the fact that on top of the standard deduction for $31,500, there's a new charitable deduction added to it as well.
Yeah, as you said, for a long time it's been hard to reach itemizing, and so I've been a standard deduction guy for a long time, and yet I still continue to give to nonprofits or church or whatever, and so those gifts out of, other than the benevolence factor of doing right,
benevolence, but not a deduction.
Not a deduction. Now that's available again, capped at $2,000 for joint, but still something of benefit for those of us that are giving, even if we're a standard deduction family.
So to clarify, what that means then is $31,500 standard deduction, but then $2,000 on top of that.
If you're giving $2,000
for charitable,
that's right. Now your deduction's up at $33,500.